industry and its struggle to replace this supply when gas deliveries were banned under the EU sanctions. But Germans eventually succeeded replacing Russian deliveries with natural gas from Norway and LNG from the United States. And some now, there's some fear that this could be a problem once more. Lars Halter is with DW and joins me now. Great to have you, Lars. Happy New Week.
Hi, thanks for having me, Lottie. Here's the problem now. As you just mentioned, yes, many here are thinking we're going to run into the next big issue. And it's the same issue that we had before. Germany seems to be once again too dependent on one imported energy source, and especially one with a few suppliers. Over the past few years, since we got off Russian gas, Germany got most of its natural gas through a pipeline from Norway, but it also gets tremendous amounts of liquefied natural gas, or LNG, from the United States. It's shipped here and it comes into one of those newly built LNG terminals in some of the German harbors. If it's not landed in Belgium or the Netherlands and then transported to Germany, which of course also happens. Now the US LNG currently covers 13.5% of Germany's total gas use. And while that doesn't sound like a critical market share, experts actually say it is, because at peak demand, US LNG is in fact what makes up the difference. Also, if a pipeline from Norway would malfunction, even only maybe for a short while, the United States is the only supplier that can deliver on short notice and keep the lights on, so to speak. So while Norway is Germany's biggest supplier, the country is also dependent on the US, and that is just not a great situation after we've been too dependent on another country before and we've paid a high price for it.
All right, Lars, but where is the risk with, those deliveries from the U.S.? After all, the United States and Germany, they're allies.
Yeah, that's true, Ladi. The United States and Germany are allies, but what does that mean as of next week when Donald Trump takes office again? He is most certainly not a friend of Germany. He doesn't like Germany with regards to politics and policy. He doesn't like the transatlantic trade with Germany, and he is a bully. He's threatened the EU with massive tariffs. He is pushing for the EU to cut trade with China, and many experts now fear that Trump could use LNG deliveries to put pressure on Germany to do his bidding on the continent. That means they're afraid that Trump could ask Germany to do pretty much whatever he wants in terms of geopolitics or global trade, or else cut off supplies. That's legally possible because these LNG contracts give both sides an out if necessary. If, for example, the U.S. can sell their LNG elsewhere at a higher price, they can reroute their tankers and not deliver to Germany in favor of someone else. However, one thing gives a little hope here. Trump does want to make the U.S. a major energy exporter, and withholding deliveries from clients would obviously threaten that strategy. Anyway, it's not a great situation for Germany to be in right now.
All right, so another trading week. What are investors, dealing with in today's markets?
Well, yeah, Ladi, the DAX was off to a weak start this morning, and checking right now, we're down a little over 100 points, but still clinging on to that 20,000 points mark. It's just a tad over 20,000 right this moment. But most of what we're looking at here, in fact, is the United States and maybe a bit of China. Why is that? Because we're a week out from Donald Trump taking over the White House, as I just mentioned, and there's just so much uncertainty in markets. A look at the bond market seems to show that investors are worried about Trump's trade policies, and that seems to overshadow market action even in Frankfurt. Now, among the few stocks that are up right now is Porsche, some unexpectedly good revenue numbers despite ongoing weakness, of course, in China, and shares are currently up there 3%. There's also some news out for Tesla. The Dutch pension fund ABP, that is the largest pension fund in Europe, has just sold its entire Tesla stock worth almost 600 million euros. But it's not due to Elon Musk's political escapades, which have also led to some major eye rolling in Europe, but it's due to the ridiculously large bonus that Musk had wanted from that company. Even courts have recently denied that. Anyway, bad news here on markets for Tesla.
All right, Lars Halter, always great having your info there from Europe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lottie.
All right, now let's get to other stories now. See.